So welcome for today's presentation. It's 6th of June 2017, and this is the SkyWay Invest Group or Business Opportunity or Opportunity presentation. For those who don't know, my name is Annette Martinson, and I'm involved in a company for more than 3 years. And the last year in August, I decided to make my decision, finding and knowing what I want. I decided to be fully on board for this project. So today I'm acting as a marketing director and a little bit of sales as well, indirectly. And I'm also trying to build the brand awareness, helping existing partners, my team to bring more opportunities for the company. I'm also looking for leaders who would be able to to take the business to the next level. So I'm helping as much as I can, doing the presentations, kind of introducing to opportunities. So I guess for me, this is the big step in my life to where I was to where I am today, and I hope you will understand why. So why are we here? Probably you were not born those days when we didn't have anything from the transportation point of view, available transport apart from the car, horses and some bicycles, or horses and carriage together. There were no trains, there were no cars at some point in the world in many years ago. There were no airplanes, there were no ships. Maybe ships there were, but not the ones that we have today. And the world was in a much better place, meaning that the sky was blue and the grass was green, or greener and more blue. What I mean by that, there was a time when people started to develop more and more different technologies, and the most important is the opportunities, how we can move around or from point A to point B. And as far as we know, today we have a lot of many different transport available today. Any part of the world that you go. Some of them are very, very outdated, very underdeveloped countries. They have, very old trains and cars. More developed countries, they have high-speed trains. They used planes. They have, jet skis. Different type of ships, cargo trains, buses, underground trains. You just name it. To where we were many years ago with just a bicycle or horse. Today we have numerous of opportunities or choices to use to get from point A to point B. But taking that on board, what the problem is or the challenge is that we are facing in any part of the world. What is this that we are actually damaging our environment? What are the problems? So from all this transport that we have out there today, and the government keep investing in outdated transportation infrastructure. And remember, the phones, the computers, TVs that we're using, they are improving every almost month, if not quarterly or yearly. And we have more and better improved technology all around of us. But the transport we're using, it's like, I don't know, implemented 200 or 300 years ago. And it's very bad because these transports that we are using are, as I said, damaging our environment. Especially, I'm pointing out the air pollution, the water pollution, road accidents, and death and injuries. How many people are dying daily, on roads? And that's I don't think it's acceptable anymore, especially if we are breathing the air and we are living in a busy city. So the air is polluted. How many, if we are not causing already problems with, with getting older and, increasing different diseases or whatever. We are breathing the air that is causing new health issues. I can tell from myself. I started to have like breathing problems, and I thought I have an asthma. And then the doctor told me, like, well, if you can, get outside the city as much as you can and breathe the fresh air, because you live in the city. What do you want? That's kind of attitude the doctors have today, because they can't help us, right? The same thing is about the overcrowded platforms. Even today, we had this like very bad situation in London a couple of days ago. So obviously one of the stations is closed, the one is open. Therefore, the trains are overcrowded. You barely can get on a train. I'm standing just before the yellow line, actually after the yellow line, and I'm trying to push people back, just for me to be in a safe zone. And in more on that, we are facing, cancellation delays, and we are paying the same fare. We are paying the same amount of money. And actually here in the UK, it's increasing. I know in some parts of Europe, it's keep increasing, but the service, is it getting better? It is not. I think it's going worse. And at some point I felt, that we are, no one can help us, because someone is controlling out there. They keep pumping in money in infrastructure that is outdated and old, but we need to kind of, well, that's the situation, you get rid of it, like, get over it, you need to accept it. But no, we should not accept the situation, and especially if we pay for it, and we're supposed to expect, better service and everything else. So you might think now how I can be in help. As I said, like, the transport that we are using is given by the government, or the cars. Well, some people I know not using even public transport anymore. They're using the cars. But at the same time, if you're using a car, well, I barely can park my car, next to my door. Sometimes I have to park car very far away, because population is growing, and one household can have 2 or 3 cars. That's crazy. So it means we need more roads. But more roads, it means less trees, less green grass, and everything else, which I'm particularly very, very missing. So how can I help? How you can be help of it? There is a person who needs your help. There is a person who wants to help you, but in order to help you, you have to help him. And his name is Mr. Anatoly Eduardovich Yunitsky. He is a genius person. He's a scientist, engineer, very bright and knowledgeable person who been designing a new transportation infrastructure called Yunitsky String Transport, or UST in a short version. Mr. Yunitsky works for this project for more than 40 years, and what he saw, 40 years ago, and no one else could see, he predicted, the overcrowded trains here, or public transport as it is. He predicted that, the environment will be damaged more and more. The air is going to be polluted, and actually one of the things he can relate it, or the point in his life when he said, like, I need to do something about it, came when he used to live very close to Chernobyl city in Russia, where there was like a massive explosion, like a toxical explosion in the city, where even, how many years ago now, 30 years, maybe more than that, the city is still dead. Then, he could be affected as well. But I think that was his understanding, that he needs to change, the situation in and make the world a better place. His biggest idea is actually to create some transport system, or some system that will take out to space all the factories and all the bad, the gas that we are breathing out there, and producing the things, not on a planet but out there. However, it's a massive project, so he decided to create something smaller and on the planet, but also can improve, the situation. So today we have already, and I will come back to later, later for this, there is a transport already existing, which is built above the ground on a rail string technology or Unitsky string transport technology. So you can read about Mr. Unitsky on his personal blog, which is www.unitsky.com, and you can see numerous awards and certifications that he has received, or over the years. Two of them are grants of the UN, United Nations for Development, and there are many more diplomas of international exhibitions, gold medals, and etc. There is also more than close to 100 patents, or not even more, that he owns, and you can also double check them on a patent scope. So if you know who is Elon Musk is an American genius. So some of the people start calling Mr. Unitsky Elon Musk in Belarus, and I will show you why. Mr. Unitsky, as I said, works for this project for more than 40 years. And back 2001, he managed to create the first 150-meter long truck, where he tested with specially made car or adjusted car with the wheels to test if the structure, that he was putting on the papers and calculating is actually correct, and it can be a successful project. So here you can see back in 2001, there was a test section, and it was called like a pilot test, which was successful and confirmed the technical, the numbers which were pledged by the author in the project. And it was done in a town of Ozoroy of Moscow region. And the person who helped him to create this was one of the millionaires, Russian millionaires, who invested $1.5 million 17 years ago to help Mr. Unitsky, to build this test. However, the test section was destroyed, and the project was closed down. And closed down, kind of. Partners obviously kind of said, this is not going to go anywhere. But Mr. Unitsky kept working for it. He was trying to find the right, route to market, or right way how to attract the funds, because the funds was the lack of, keep going for this project. So there was a time going past. In the meantime, there is a person called Andrei Havrato. He is also a person that you need to know. He is a multimillionaire, a businessman, very successful businessman, created numerous of and been involved in numerous of traditional and not traditional businesses. He also created Academy of Private Investor, where he's actually teaching and educating everyone of the importance of a financial investment education. Because you might agree with me or not, but the system that we are learning at school was implemented same many years ago as the transportation. And why is that? Because no one else is going there and breaking the system. So Havrato wants to teach people that apart from going to school and learning how to write a good CV and work for a good company, he's teaching you how to write a good business plan and create your own company. Basically, how to make your money work for you. That's his dream. One of the goals or dreams is to, approach as many people as he can, especially youth, young people, for them not to be, or tied up in a company for the rest of their lives. So he has created SkyWay Invest Group, which is the educational investment portal and also the financial arm or the trademark of Rail SkyWay Systems. Why? Because 3 years ago, or a bit more, 4 years ago, he found out about this project. He found out about Mr. Unitsky. They came together. They discussed, the project. They discussed what challenges he's facing, and he said, "You know what? I'm going to help you to, to raise the funds that you need." And 2014, in 4th of September, they signed the agreement between both companies for 20 years. So today we are an official financial arm for his technology to be funded. And here's a little video for those who are here first time. It will give you a bit of idea what this all about. All right, guys, I hope you're still with me. Remember, you will be able to ask me questions at the end of the presentation. All right? Hopefully, some of the questions I have answered already. So what is there so unique about the SkyWay? Well, I guess we need to go a little bit more in details what we're actually offering. So SkyWay Unibike is the first transport that we created and we put on rails already last November. It's created or designed for parks and tourist attractions, entertainment, because the Unibike is it's with the music. There is a music inside. There's also like a pedaling. You can do the like cycling and increase the speed. And it's a very light and compact vehicle. So let's say you have a park where you have a beautiful lake or just a beautiful view around. What if we, create or build like a transport like Unibike, let's say 3 to 6 meters above the ground, and you can see, even more beautiful view from the top. So this was what we created last year. So just to show that this is a small project, but this cannot already work. So let's keep going to the next one. The next transport that we created was SkyWay Unibus. The Unibus is also on the rails and it's going through the testing in order to receive the certification. So what does it mean? No one's going to buy this transport from beautiful pictures. We need to actually build the transport and we need to certify by independent company that the transport is safe and it can be used for public. So SkyWay Unibus is another popular transport for us today. It can be mounted and suspended with the speed up to 150 kilometers an hour, so almost the same speed as Unibike, and designed for short distances, which means up to 200 kilometers. And it can be within the city, or it can connect cities that are very close to each other. All right. SkyWay Cargo is the third transportation option. So it is designed for cargo transportation, and this cargo can help many countries that today are trading with for example, Africa. They cannot trade their goods or transport the goods from south to north because they purely don't have the transport that they could use. It's very, very expensive. So instead, their goods, they are trading with China. So this could help them, to solve some problems or some challenges. And the speed can go up to 500 kilometers an hour if needed. Also, what I want to mention is from this particular picture, you can see that one truck can be used for two purposes. So whether high-speed train, which is the next train I will show you, and the Unibus, or high-speed and, for example, the cargo. So we don't need to build separate cargo train truck and separate high-speed train. The same truck can be used for the two different purposes. And a high-speed train is the most, profitable one. It can be designed. It is designed for long distances, up to 10,000 kilometers, and the speed can go up to 500 kilometers an hour. All right. So imagine now that you want to get from Scotland to London. It's 725 kilometers. Instead of choosing the train that is available today, I was actually checking. It would take me nearly 4 hours to get from London to Scotland, and it would cost me approximately £190. I checked, like, okay, let's see how much it would cost me to use the plane. So flying, it would take me 2 hours and slightly cheaper. So with the Skyway high-speed train, we would be able to manage the same distance in 1.5 hours and maybe paying £50 approximately. So this is what we can achieve with the high-speed train, and it can connect not just cities but countries as well, and continents in the future. And the summary, I want to say about the advantages. So as you can see here, we have 4 different, as I call, case studies. Countries that don't need Unibus, but they need cargo, or the countries that don't need anything but they want to attract more tourists, so they can use Unibike, or maybe the country wants all 4 technologies. That's the option. We need to just go and speak to the government, see what challenge they're facing, and offer the right solution. So the biggest advantage for us is, as you can see, the transport is built above the ground. What does it mean? We are not damaging environment. Very little land acquisition, and only thing we do is just put the pillars in the ground, and the next pillar can be within a few meters to a few kilometers, depending on the environment where we go and where we're building. Because we are not digging new roads and it's a very small land acquisition, the transport is also much cheaper to comparing to existing transport. If you do your due diligence or you research on internet, you will find that existing transport today that we're using cost approximately, well, $20 million. It's actually a very small amount. It's like $40 to $50 million dollars per kilometer. All right. If you're looking at the high-speed trains that are available today, or the projects that are, they are thinking to confirm, it can go up to $100 million per kilometer. So can you imagine how much money you will be paying for it if 40 and 50 already cost you so much money to pay for your journey? So our transport would cost average 5 million per kilometer. So from 3 to 8, depending on whether you want to build Unibike, whether you want to go high-speed train, whether it's going to be solar panel, and what environment is going to go. But average, it would be 5 million per kilometer. All right. Once it's built, it stays there for 100 years. Why? Because our truck is using very good materials. It's very good construction, so it can go plus 70, 80 degrees up. It can go minus 70, 80 degrees down. It won't damage. What happens with the roads today? If there is a rain, if there is a cold, if there is a snow, ice on the road, within 3 years' time, you need, or maybe even 2 years' time, some countries even 1 year time, you need to repair the roads. And who is paying for that? Taxpayers. Our transport, 100 years stays there. How good investment is that? Also, regarding the eco-friendliness, Unibike and Urban Skyway, they are not using fuel at all. It's powered by the energy, or even in hot countries, it can be powered by solar panels. Okay, high speed and cargo. At the moment, we are pushing to use solar panels and energy only also, but that needs to be improved. At the moment, it would be the way we would move the train forward is with a hybrid technology. But in our case, we would use the fuel, whether it could be gas or petrol. The country needs to choose it, just to push the trains at a certain speed, and then it changes to electricity as well. All right. So these are the kind of the advantages, and the biggest advantage for us is that we can be built anywhere. If you look at the current transport, then all the trains, they need a flat ground, right? Because they're digging your roads, flat ground, flat ground, where our transport can be built in any terrain. It's soft or hard surface. It can be deserts, jungles, mountain area, water, ocean. As I said, in the future, we could connect continents. And I guess because of that, we can approach unapproachable places today. And there are plenty of them, I'm telling you. um, so this is what we have, past and today. Remember, I showed you the picture, our slide where Mr. Unitsky build a 150 meter truck. So that's in 2001, and this is already 2017, where you can see the unibus, which is designed for 14 people, particularly this one, and it can be bigger or smaller, but this one is designed for 14 people. It's again, it's 16 years difference. But you can see that whatever he created 2001, it works in 2017. And this is the future and today and future. So the unibus, where Mr. Unitsky is underneath, so he's not scared to be under the transport. He knows it's stable and it's safe. And the unibike, both of them will be certified, which means that we will receive the technical documentation from the independent country that this transport is safe. And I can't wait, because 1st of July is going to be a very, very big day, or historical day for many people who are supporting the project, from beginning, like myself 3 years ago, or even today. And there is another video that I want to show you, and hopefully you will enjoy it.
Right now, we are creating the transport of the future, fast, safe, eco-friendly, and affordable. Every day brings us closer to the introduction of a new transport philosophy, a new vision, a new technological mode called SkyWay. There are 15 stages in the development of SkyWay. A stage is a set of actions and measures aimed at developing and establishing the technology as a whole. The change of a stage implies the completion of the entire scope of work and achievement of planned targets set by the company developer. Work on the implementation of the SkyWay Transport project was launched in 2014, which corresponds to the first stage. Since then, the technology has advanced to the 8th stage, which ends on the 8th of March 2017. What do we remember about the passing stage 8? At the end of November 2016, on the territory of the SkyWay test site, the Eco Technopark, we started performance trials of the rolling stock. A unibike covered its first SkyWay kilometers. Along with the performance trials of rolling stock, the SkyWay transport certification procedure entered its final stage. In December 2016, the SkyWay project designing company concluded a number of agreements with scientific institutions on the SkyWay transport certification. At the 8th stage, construction work at the SkyWay Testing and Certification Center approached the home straight. Government authorities allocated land for the construction of the 16-kilometer high-speed section of the track where SkyWay rolling stock would be able to reach speeds up to 500 kilometers an hour. The outgoing stage is characterized by the growth of the SkyWay technology image and commercial interest in it on the international arena. Representatives of Russia, Turkey, the Philippines, India, Australia and Canada visited the SkyWay Eco Technopark and workshops of the pilot production facility. A number of documents on cooperation have already been signed, new areas of partnership opened, and new projects on targeted construction are being discussed. What awaits us at the 9th stage? Continuation of work in all areas of construction at the Eco Technopark. Extension of pilot production facility and the staff of designers. Creation of new rolling stock models. Completion of construction, testing and certification of the section for the lightweight urban track. Join the SkyWay team. Together, we will be able to change this world for the better.
Sorry. Is it good or good? I think it's very good. So what I wanted to show you with this presentation or video is that these are not just the pictures that I'm showing you, because some say, you know, it's very good digital pictures. There are videos, there are numerous of videos that proves that technology is there, that we are, you know, we have people that are interested, that we have, you know, numerous of governments interested to go and meet Mr. Unitsky and see the technology, their own eyes. We do have numerous of agreements already in place that, you know, that once we receive the technical documentation, there will be even more, you know, bigger steps that they will complete in order to start building. And as far as I've heard, by August or September, there could be already 15 to 17 targeted projects that could start, you know, that could go ahead and start a preparation for the building. And from this competitor analysis, I'm just, you know, touch base a little bit once again. I just wanted to show you that you know, how people saying, you know, oh, but there is another magnetic levitation trains or hyperloops, whether already built or planning to build. It's absolutely fine. You know, we are not competing with everyone. We are giving an alternative transport to what we have here today. But if still people want to, and people are competing us with other projects, then okay, here we go. Let's compete. Let's compare the speed, safety, cost per kilometer, eco-friendliness, and adaptability. The speed, as I always say, okay, Hyperloop has twice, a bit more than twice, better speed, greater speed that we have. However, I still think the high 500 kilometers an hour is a great speed. Skytron, it can go up to 240 kilometers an hour. That's a good speed, taking that this transport can go only within the cities, so for short distances. Regarding the safety, most of us are on a high or skyways, for example, very high safety, which means we have the zero risk or zero accident rate, as I said, because we are built above the ground. Here we go. The cost per kilometer, 3 to 8 million, or Skytron is 6 million, comparing to magnetic levitation and a hyperloop. The idea is great. I guess the project is, you know, and what they want to achieve or trying to achieve is a very good idea. However, it costs a lot of money. It's very heavy construction. It's a lot of materials that they are using, and unfortunately, magnetic levitation train is only in Japan, and no one else can afford it. So one thing is to find a country who will build this transport, but the other thing is like who is going to be using it. If today, for me to use you know, existing transport and go from A to B, it already cost me more than £100 and takes me so much time to get there. So how much money I would need to pay, you know, for hyperloop or you know, magnetic levitation train. Regarding the eco-friendliness, well done to all of us. We tick the box here. But as I mentioned before, regarding where we can be built, any terrain, comparing to other transports, is a flat ground. And once again, I want to mention that SkyWay has 4 different technologies, or as I call them, 4 types of case studies that we can look into and solve. Where the rest of the, you know, the project, they have only one product to market. All right. So the pictures you've seen, the video that you've seen, you might ask me, you know, okay, so how have you done this so far? If you remember at the beginning of presentation, I mentioned that it was a lack of funds for Mr. Unitsky to build, you know, the test section, and Mr. Havrato, who was looking for opportunities. How great that could be. One is looking, you know, for help, another one can help. So Andrei Havrato, when he approached Mr. Unitsky, he said, forget about those massive investors who can fund you today, or, you know, hedge funds who wants to take a big percentage from you. And it's no different. If you use the credit card, obviously you're paying back the big percentage or some percentage, right? So same here, you know, if someone gives you the money, they want, money back and even more. But for what? To give away more, like a big part of your company? Mr. Harata gave the idea, and the idea is the crowdfunding. Crowdfunding allows you to approach people around the world, and not just big investors, but ordinary people like myself or my friends or you maybe, to help to create this, to make this idea, real. And the reason why we needed this money, as you can imagine, was the test section. The test section that was destroyed in Moscow. Today we have even greater test section, which is in Minsk. We call it Eco Techno Park. So Mr. Unitsky got a permission, or gave the how to say, Mr. Lukashenko, the president of Belarus, he gave the land permission, more than 36-hectare land permission to Mr. Unitsky to go and build this transport on his land. So here you can see that on the far right is the high-speed train, then is a unibus truck, unibike, and the cargo. So as I mentioned before, Unibike and Unibus, these two trucks are completed already. So now they're going through the testing. And by the way, we have received the first certificates where we are where we pass like the international kind of regulations, as I understand. But there's only one certificate from many certificates that will come along. And cargo train here on the far left is also half ready, and we will be able to see it on the 1st of July. For that, we'll come back later. So initially, when Mr. Unitsky calculated and created a business plan, he thought he would need $300 million to create and complete all the test section. What we have done so far, instead of raising the funds or raising the money and only then building, we are actually raising and building together, which allows Mr. Unitsky to find or to even minimize the expenses to what he was expecting. Because 3 years ago, maybe there was a different situation, different situation of how you're producing or buying the product to put everything together. So today it's already $100 million less. And to be honest, whatever we have created today, it's done with $27 million. Through crowdfunding, what we have raised so far. And by business plan, we're supposed to raise already 100 million. So we have already, again, saved a lot of money to what initially it was, kind of calculated. So Eco Techno Park is very crucial project for us. That's our baby project. Without this project, we won't be able to go and move forward anywhere. Right, so it's like a shop for us, where people are, from all around the world. More than 300,000 people are supporting us today, over 3 year, 2.5 year time, and so we almost we have almost completed this, which is very exciting, and it will allow, or it gives an opportunity for you to become a co-owner of the technology. I believed in the project 3 years ago, and today I know that this technology is part of me. There is a little help from my side, which is going to be implemented all around the world. So you have an opportunity here today to decide whether this is the project which you want to help to become real. Imagine like a Facebook, imagine like Google Glasses, imagine, I don't know, some other digital or technical product that people have helped, to get live, to become, to go on public and sell it. This is the opportunity for you. No one else have given us this opportunity, at least so far, but here we are today. We need your help. And the project has been divided on 15 stages. From 15 stages, we are on stage 9, as you can see here. And very soon, I believe, and rumors are going around, that before the 1st of July, we will move to stage 10. So once again, when I joined the company, it was 2014. It was stage number 1. There was no tangible products. There were no production facilities. There was there was nothing. There was no even land to build the project. It was just a beautiful picture and idea. Today you have already the product that is almost certified, and this is very crucial year for us, because after the certification the things will change. We're gonna go big. We're already going big, but I think we're gonna go even bigger, because things are happening already today. I think the only thing that stops us from going and building tomorrow in any country that are interested today is the certification. So there is still a risk. 2014 there was a high risk. There is still a risk today, but the risk is very, very minimal. So you need to make decision very, very soon, because the time is left very little, to get on this train. There will be another trains that will come, but particularly this train. Yeah, so here are like few examples which okay, someone disappeared. Yeah, so here are a few examples or the countries that have shown a big interest regarding our project. So Australia, Mr. Rotherhook, he was the uber skeptical person. My gosh, he didn't believe in anything. So what he did, he packed his luggage or suitcase and he flew to Belarus. He met Mr. Unitsky and he changed his mind. Rotherhook is a very smart person as well, and that would be his reputation. But he completely he changed his mind, and he's 100% sure that this transport needs to be taken to Australia, to Flinders University and Adelaide City, and also they are looking for the cargo train to also be implemented. Obviously there is a Russia, Ukraine, Ireland, Belarus, Tanzania, Turkey. Turkey actually been attending, coming to our Eco Techno Park, I think already 3 times, and they are, looking where they're going to be building, where they're going to be building the transport. I think there are some 5-kilometer discussion for some resort. There's also countries like India who actually are. I think we are very proud of India, because they made the first step and they actually signed the first contract with us. So the contract value is $922 million, and they already building the smart city for many years, but they want to implement this project connecting 19 cities with 3 targeted projects, from starting, I guess, from the next year. Dalai Lama, as you can see in this picture, he's very well known person, I believe. He invited Mr. Unitsky personally to attend, to come to his place, have a discussion, conversation regarding the project and what challenge they are facing. And he gave his blessing and permission to go and build first, if I'm not mistaken, 12 kilometers in Dharamshala city. I think looking at these people, it's not about money. Someone said, there is no legal, this is no legal company and everything. Ask these people who says you this. Would these people, these reputable names, would they be putting, the signatures and pictures and comments and interviews if they wouldn't believe in this project, right? So I think this is something more, or I'd say. I think most of us, or at least majority of people who've been introduced to the project or are already supporting the project, they still haven't realized how big is this project. I was told by my friend that, Annette, you don't know where you are. You still don't realize how big the project is. But you know what? Slowly I have started to understand, and that I don't want to step out. Our colleague Mila, she also last month traveled to Ethiopia, because she was introduced to the right people in the government, and they organized for her meetings to go and meet a minister of transport, also the mayor office transport head, and also the president of the bank, to talk about the funds. She was taken to facilities where they are looking to produce all the parts, and not just for Ethiopia, but for whole Africa. And actually, they were the ones who said that the buses, wherever they need to build new roads or maintain the buses, but basically the bus road is more expensive than our transport. So can you imagine about the cargo trades? It would be even more expensive. So they keep going in discussions, but everything is positive so far. And what I mentioned about the facility is that whichever country we are going, or whichever country would be happy to go and build the transport, we will be using, the local engineering companies. So, for example, in Australia, we have Hurricane Company, and in India, we have a Tennessee engineering company who would be building the transport, and basically, we will be creating local jobs for local people. All right. And there are a few other exhibitions and conferences, actually numerous of those that we've been attending. But one of the biggest one was in Indonesia as well, where we got a very big interest from the local people, from the government as well. And we are in discussions with them as well to see how we can connect, one part of Indonesia to another part. And the Ecotechno Park, as I mentioned to you, there is an opportunity for you to go and see the test section, your own eyes, because as people say, if you see it, you believe it. So everyone is more than welcome to attend Ecotechno Park on the 1st of July, which is our greatest event of the spring. And that's the day, as I believe, will go in a history, and you can enter the history together with us. EcoFest is an opportunity to meet other people, from all around the world. Unfortunately, the places are limited. We have only 5,000 tickets, but you still have a chance to go and get it. EcoFest is an opportunity to meet people, to meet like-minded people who sees the world with, I guess, this technology changing the world, and to see what are the next steps, how we can take the business to the next level. Okay, so what's in it for you? Quickly going through this, there are numerous of projects that I believe you are aware of, like Coca-Cola, Amazon, Google, Alibaba, and the question is, did they approach you, these people who are behind this idea, did they approach you, or maybe some people that and offering them, to be part of this big brand and big project? Have they? I don't think. Well, maybe there are some examples that, or how to say, someone that know this kind of people. But personally, me, no one have given me opportunity to be part of anything big so far. And the question is whether the Skyway is your big opportunity that you see the way we see it. And the opportunity number one is obviously to help us to complete the Ecotechno Park. And to complete the Ecotechno Park, we need more funds. So you have an opportunity to support us financially, as little as, let's say $100 or $10 or even more. It's obviously up to your, what you can offer. What you can put forward. Just to give you an idea here, from this table, this you can see on your back office as well. So if you help us with $100, in return we are giving you 8,000 pre-IPO equity shares in your portfolio, which once the company goes on IPO, within the 2 to 3 years, or maybe earlier, it would be valued at $8,000 as a minimum. So you help us with $100, we give you a portfolio that would be worth $8,000. If you support us with $1,000, we will give you a portfolio of 150,000 value with pre-IPO equity, in your package, which would be valued of $150,000 as a minimum, right? But imagine if once the company goes an IPO and on a public, on the stock exchange, and it could cost, one share could cost $10 or $20 or $100. You don't know today how much Apple shares cost, or Google shares. No one knows until we are there. But we are building the value for the company today to get as much as we can, afterwards. And here is also the monthly options for those who, even if you want to support with $150 today, but you don't have them, that's fine. The company understands that, and you can support us by choosing, for example, 10 months installment package and supporting or paying out your, you support it in 10 years, in 10 months time. All right. For those who, for example, want to go for a bigger package, let's say $10,000, in financial support, you can support us again monthly, paying out $1,000. All right. I hope you understand this monthly option. There are more than seven, 8, 9 options available while we are on stage 9. Stage 9 means, we, as I said, we might move to stage 10 in the middle of June, and then there won't be monthly options anymore. So this again is something that, unfortunately, company moving forward, they need to kind of take off something because we start to get to very serious business, and the risk is very, very, like the risk goes very, very minimum, like lower than it was, maybe a year ago. So this is opportunity for you as well. Opportunity 2 is also being involved in the business a bit more. Apart from just supporting us financially, you can support us with your skills, with your experience, with your just a passion for better world, and we are more than happy to take everyone on board. We are not recruiting everyone because we don't want employees. Employees is very. It makes me goosebumps. We want entrepreneurs. We want leaders to be in a company, and word of mouth is a tool. Our opportunity or ability to talk is the thing that we are using on a daily basis in order to take the business to the next level. And what we can offer here today, I just want to go quickly through it. More in details, you can speak to your person who introduced you here today. But I just want to give you a little snap into what we are offering here today. So today we have 5 income streams, and tomorrow we have 2. So today we have from your network, so you can earn commission, or as we call it, reward from your work. You don't work for free. We understand that everyone needs to get some reward for it, so you can get from your network. So more you talk, more you spread the word about this amazing opportunity, more you can get in your commission or in rewards. So let's say you attract someone who invests or support financially with $1,000, you would get 15%, which is $150 in your in your wallet straight away. Then we have the investment from commission. Basically, apart from just giving you the cash, we are still giving away the equity as well. So someone invests $1,000, the person would purchase or would receive the portfolio of 115,000, I guess. $1. So basically there is some amount, $1,000, 150,000 equity. You would get 3.75% from that portfolio, which is nearly 4,300 pre-IPO equity, as an extra bonus, to your cash. So you receive the cash and the equity. Cash 150, equity 4,000. That's a big difference. And as I said, like companies moving towards the IPO, so the risk is almost zero. Unfortunately, the commission will be kept only while we are on a stage 10. The cash will stay there, but the equity will no longer be available. Then we have company representative. So basically, the network, first for people who are investing under $100,000 or by no more than $100,000, they're going through crowdfunding platform. All right, and there you're getting commission. Once you you show that your network is growing, you are attracting more and more support, financial support. And for example, you prove yourself that you can be a leader and you have reached consultant level. We can discuss opportunity for you to, if you want, to open an office in some regions, and you would get a commission on top of what you're earning from your personal attracted support. You will be able to receive up to 6% from your whole team, because that means you are director of the region, and it's not only you anymore. You have people who are working with you in that office, and you would receive the profit from from your team, and the revenue that you're bringing together. All right, I hope you understand. And then we have the fourth one is a project initiation. A lot of people are very interested, or not interested, but they have a lot of good contact in the government. So they are taking opportunity and introducing us to those to leaders. If you are a consultant, we believe that you're already you're supposed to know the presentation yourself. You need to know about the business inside and out. You have already the experience, so you can initiate the project, but with our help, to close the deal. And there is also a percentage from 5 to 10% that you can earn as a commission. And from big contracts. Big contracts are for people who are investing over $100,000. So if you have a person, let's say, who wants to invest 1 million, there is no connection with crowdfunding anymore. These people have different contracts, different terms, like not terms and conditions, but different contracts that you're signing. And these big investors can go and meet Mr. Unitsky personally, to kind of, to shake the hands, I guess, and finalize some maybe legal documents. And you get a commission here as well, up to 5% in cash and up to 2.5% in equity, but also while we are on stage 9. So the opportunities are there. And tomorrow we have opportunities as well, which is the IPO and dividends. Remember I showed you Eco Technopark? That's our baby project. If people take the risk, which is not risky, but take little risk, and they support the SkyWay Eco Technopark today, you would become a co-owner of the technology and the main shareholder of the main company. Which means if we build, as I told you, we have 15 to 17 targeted projects already kind of waiting on the list, and which will be completed by finalized by approximately September. You who supported the Eco Technopark today will be able to receive the dividends once the company build those targeted projects and start receiving the profit. You will be able to receive those dividends. And dividends are like, we have a contract between Mr. Unitsky and Khavratov that 20% quarterly goes back to investors from the profit that they make. If you wait for Eco Technopark to be finalized, which might happen by end of the year, then you miss the opportunity. But there will be opportunity for you to support a separate targeted project. Apart from 50 to 17 projects, maybe there might be, or even those same projects will need your support. So you will be able to invest in separate projects and receive the dividends from particular those projects. So that's the difference as well, that you need to decide, whether you're a person who loves to take risk or you're the person who wants to play safe. Okay. So the question is, what is it you want? Do you want 9-to-5 job? Do you want to be a managing director and you want to be a sales manager? You want to be a marketing manager for the company that is already, already a big company or a smaller company, but basically working for someone, be tied up on a contract that you need to, be at work at 9 and finish at 5, go to lunch at that time, and maybe sometimes they ask you to work even more, and feel every morning that you wake up that you don't want to go there. Obviously, I know that there are jobs that people love, well done. But again, the question is, do you want to be in that job for the rest of your life? Or there's another opportunity to be free from, free in terms that, you can be yourself and there's no no one else there's no one that you need to ask permission apart from yourself. When you want to wake up, when you want to go to holidays, when you want to go for lunch, how long you want to go for lunch, whether you want to go back to work after the lunch, and whether you want to work in office or you want to work by the beach in a hot country. Because if you are an entrepreneur and you choose not to be an employee, no one tells you that you need to work there, that you can do whatever you want, how much you want. And sometimes entrepreneurs work even more, but because they chose to, not because they were told to. All right. So that's your choice, to do, to make it today. If it's not a Skyway, I hope you're going to find some other place that you believe that, this is the place you want to go for. But please, think and look for opportunities around you, because the job is not secure anymore. And now it's difficult maybe to how to say that, digest. But I'm telling you, I don't have a massive experience of being an entrepreneur, but I can see that I'm more happy to where I was last year in August. And I guess the key to finding what you want is knowing what you want. Think, what are the 100 things that you want? And I'm telling you, it's a difficult task. It sounds very easy, but write down 100 things that you want, and think and see on a list how far you are to those 100 things, to complete, by doing what you're doing today. And I guarantee you there are other opportunities, or even the Skyway is the opportunity that will help you, to complete your dreams, if you're determined and if you're really focused on your end result. Stay updated. We have 5 social medias. Global Transnet UK is the most, the company how you can find us. So on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and even on Instagram. And it's a live news, a live stream sometimes even from our conferences and events, and the updates, activities, everything possible that we can. We are supporting our people with, we are feeding with information, so no one is left out. Everyone knows what's happening in the company. Everyone knows what we are doing, and there is no hidden stories or back scenes. So, on the social medias, you can stay updated daily. I guess now I can say thank you for your attention. And my name once again was Annette Martinson. Please go back to the person who invited you here today. Ask for additional information. If you haven't you've gone through the registration yet, and finally you decided, yes, this is what I want to be in, ask him, how you can do the registration, and let's, go and build a planet. Let's build a Skyway and save the planet. But if you haven't got this person, or you're struggling to find, the person, sometimes it happens, then you can find me on Skype ID, on Skype, when my ID is Anit5 with double I. I will be happy to help you if I can. And let's go to the questions and answers now, if you have some. Okay. So someone asked, how does Global Transnet UK relate to Skyway project? Who is Global Transnet? Is GT the parent company of the project? Okay, so GTI, Global Transportation Investment, is the main company where we hold, where it holds all 400 billion shares, and Global Transnet UK is the headquarters for headquarters, and basically we will be responsible, or we are already responsible for initiating projects in Europe. I believe there will be some projects in Africa as well. So through Global Transnet UK, where Mr. Unitsky, this is the only company where Unitsky holds some stake. I think more than I think it's around 60%. So through this company, we will be selling the technical documentation. I hope that answered your question. Did I? Yes. All right. Perfect. More questions? I can't see more questions. Maybe, I want to put one more video for you guys. Maybe you're just thinking about the questions, and this is the very, very, very recent video that we have updated on our YouTube channel. As you can see here, guys, the construction is going on. Everything in process. We can see the green lands. We can see how beautiful, the environment is. This picture looks actually so unreal, but it's real. The unibus, going through the testing. It's on rails. People working. I don't know, if someone thinks it's a very good digital video, then it must be a very good professional, I don't know, person. But you see that it's there. The trees that you can see are planted from the last year. Some of the people, I think, will be able to plant this year as well. At least there was some conversation going around. You don't see a massive, heavy cars there. We're not like damaging environment. Look how green is it? It's amazing. You can barely even see those trucks. Can you imagine if we were building like normal trains? It would be so massive and heavy and damaging the environment. I can't wait to be there. Okay. So someone is asking me here a question. Now the company is paying 15% from first line. Yes, we are still paying from the first line 15%. After 25th of June, there will be 8%. Oops, 8% only. You didn't stop. Happen. Oh, yeah. So yeah, it's 15% at the moment. Plus, there is already in place the new marketing plan. Just playing with me. All right. So each SkyWay project will utilize local engineers and contractors to build the unibus, unibike, etc. Yes. So each country where we're gonna go, we're not gonna build the transport. All we're gonna do is we're gonna prepare the technical documentation. So Mr. Unitsky will go with his. I guess the engineers and also the local companies. Some local companies will be involved in this research and development group in the local countries, where they will be testing the environment. I guess, I don't know, going through all the technical questions, and Mr. Unitsky will be preparing the technical documentation. For example, India, they have to send 0.1% to prepare the presentation documents, and there is a 1% that they need to send afterwards for technical documentation preparation. I think that's the most time-consuming processes, because it needs to be calculated properly. You can't just draw some numbers on a technical documentation. You really need to work on it, so not to make mistake. That's why it could take from, I guess, 4 to 6 months to prepare those documents. And I really hope Mr. Unitsky have started to do so. in order to prepare of it. Also, there is a need for each country to build their own eco-techno park, but not obviously 40-hectare land, but let's say to build 1 kilometer with one truck, just test the unibike and let's say not high speed train, but for example unibike and unibus. But that's needed because each country has their own regulations, how big cargos needs to be, how wide they need to be, windows and other regulations. So whatever works for India or for Belarus would not be able to adapt, for example, maybe in India, in UK or in Africa. So they would need to create their own little eco-techno park tests, like as I said, R&D kind of facility center. And once it's done, then they can go and build in anywhere. But as long as it's, because they need to draw the transport and adjust to local regulations. Do they have to be specially certified? Specially certified, which one? The one in Eco Technopark in Belarus? Yes, they need to be certified. In each country separately, I believe that once they build it, they also will need to be go through the testings and to see if they are they fit into all the terms and conditions, or again, I can say use the word regulations to each country. But there should not be taken a lot of time to do that because the transport is going to be tested. We just need to adjust to local regions. And the facilities that we will be using to produce those parts also will be we will produce the parts in a local country, in a local region. However, there are going to be know-how technology that obviously won't be told to everyone. So we will produce that in our facilities. I believe that a lot of people, or there will be some engineers, the main engineers, who will be also educated on this technology because this hasn't been done previously. And Mr. Unitsky is working today with the universities to create this technology. So whether it's going to be very, very perfectly, with the bullet points, I don't know how to describe how they have to do it, but or they will be educated. I believe they will be educated. All right. Any more questions? I really hope, guys, you enjoyed it. I tried to make it a bit different, the presentation, but I think it still kind of keeps the main message and the main what we are doing and why we are doing here. All right. Well, I see there are no more questions. Then I will say thank you for your attention. Thank you for being here today. Please invite new people for the next webinar or business presentation, which is going to be next Tuesday. I'm not sure it's going to be me. I believe it's going to be my colleague Maddie, and I believe she will give you some more fresh news, what's happening or anything else, because June, I'm telling you, is the last minute train for you to jump on. Please make your decision, and if you want to go with us into the history, then I guess that's what you have to decide tonight. Joking. All right, perfect. Thank you, Carol. Great. Well, enjoy your evening, guys. If you have any questions, as I said, go back to your person or reach out to me. All right. Thank you. Good night.